Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It is Florence, the foodie.
And we are back with another episode. And you'll be happy to know that I'm feeling so much better today.
Good,
so
you sounded... I was listening to our last episode and I was like, this girl sounds so sick.
Bro!
I was like, we should have given it a miss. She sounds like she's dying.
Anything for the pod. But yeah, I'm drinking today.
I'm not.
But not
context,
not alcohol.
10 in the morning. Okay.
Yeah, no, not alcohol. I made green juice.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
You know, I had my tummy issues. I was like, you know what, girl, you need to sort your life out, babe. You need to work on this gut health. So I went on TikTok and I found a formula. A recipe. And it was like spinach, lemon, ginger, frozen pineapples, coconut water, I feel like cucumber and water, basically. Yeah,
is it nice?
It is. It actually tastes nice. You know me, I like a sweet thing, so it's not sweet, but I think the frozen pineapples really give it a bit of like je ne sais quoi. It's nice. And then I bought one of them like straining bag things so that it can be smooth, because I'm not one of those people who can do like pulp. Yeah, exactly. I'm a very texture person. I can't really do like, even smoothies are a bit much for me, but yeah, like proper, it's nice. And I made like 1.5 litres of it and we've just been banging it out and it's great.
Okay, look at you. I mean, we are at the age now where we should be taking... I said, we're at the age now where we should be taking like probiotics and...
Yeah.
It's so crazy how we all become our mums. I remember like, literally, it was just like a year or two ago, my mum, she would take like 10 pills. I'm like, what the fuck are you actually swallowing?
Bro,
she'll
and
tell
the
you this one is for
come
this.
back out now as well.
Literally, she's like, this one is for this, this one is for that one is for that. I was like, girl,
she was right all along.
Personally, I never believed in vitamins. I had this conversation before. That's my one like tinfoil hat.
You never believed in what?
Vitamins.
Yeah, it's not that I did, like, I get it, yeah, because I understand, like, you know, the vitamins and stuff, but for me, it was just the having to take something every day. Like, it's not like I've got high blood pressure or like cholesterol and it's like, okay, take this or you die. It's like, okay, cool, like, you know, just take it, you should. And so I just never did. I even bought one of them pill organizer things.
Oh, I've got that, yeah.
But I thought it would help me. It didn't.
No, I can't. It's by my bed. First thing in the morning, once my alarm goes off, I take that and then I start my day.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to put it like right next to my bed. Maybe I need to put it like on top of my phone.
Like literally next to my...
And then before I get to my phone, I would get to the pills.
Next to my phone, once I press the alarm, I grab my pill box, take my pills, wake up. Like, it's so crazy, but now, like, I definitely can see the difference and I understand that we need it. Like, before I was just like, I don't really believe in vitamins. I just feel like it's a scam. Our body makes everything we need. If you're sick, take medicine, like, you're fine. Which is very tinfoil hat. But, yeah.
Yeah, you've inspired me. I need to go and find my pill box so that I can start. But now the green juice is great. Like, I feel alive. And I've been drinking, because you know when I was having my issues, I couldn't eat anything. I was just drinking water. So because of that, I've just like continued drinking water. My body's now kind of used to the amount of water that I'm drinking. So I'm not peeing like every 5 seconds. So I'm like, all right, cool. I need to capitalize on this, and continue so that my body doesn't forget that it can hold more than 500 milliliters of water a day, you know? So
I might jump on that green juice thing.
You should. I'll send you the recipe. I got it from some girl on TikTok, so I'll send you the screenshot. But literally, it's just so easy to make. It doesn't take long. And yeah, I made it this morning before this.
So speaking of conspiracies, we never discussed Russell Brand, because I feel like the last time we recorded the documentary...
What's the conspiracy about that?
Huh? No, because haven't you seen all these conspiracy theorists that back him, that feel like, the media machine? I kind of almost wish we had covered the documentary, but it happened.
Do you want to?
It's too late now, I think. Maybe if other stuff comes
Basically, he's a rapist.
But I believe it 120%. I'm shocked that anybody would not believe it.
I'm shocked that anyone doesn't believe it.
I'm actually more shocked that... I just always assumed there were allegations about him. He always had that air of allegation type of person.
And then he was also never really funny. So it was kind of like, I don't even know how you acquired the fame that you acquired.
I was watching it with my cousin and some friends, and then they were all like, I used to find it funny. I was like, I don't know if I was like, you know, from a young age, super woke, but from day dot, I was like, this guy is really
wasn't funny.
Yeah, not funny. And I used to find him vile, like
crass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I used to be like, this guy's disgusting.
It's like, does he shower? He looks dirty, fam.
Looks dirty. Used to say a whole bunch of shit. I just didn't find him funny.
At all.
So,
Yeah, no, he definitely did that shit.
Guilty
But it's just the
as
same
fuck.
cycle. Like, someone gets accused of rape, there's proof, there's an investigation that's gone into it, there's evidence, which is always what people want to know. Oh, there's no evidence, there's evidence, and then people come around and go, well, no, actually, no, it's not true. They just want to bring a good man down. That guy that tweeted, oh, rapist is the new racist. Both things are wrong. Both things are terrible. And
Two things can be wrong.
No, two things can be wrong. Like, it's just like, oh god, I honestly like just scroll past them kind of tweets now, because it's just not good for my mind. I don't need to be seeing that shit.
It's kind of you like, I saw a TikTok this morning where the guy was obviously back in Russell Brand, and I went to the comments thinking I would find like-minded people, because I wondered why it came on my For You page, and there were all these like people that were like, we support Russell, we stand with Russell, and I was just like,
it's the comments that take me out.
Yeah,
because it's one thing for someone to make content, it's another thing to realize that actually this content has attracted so many people who agree. And when you look at the comments, it's like, I just lose hope in humanity. I'm just like, rah, these are the people who you work with, who live next to you, who are MPs, who they're literally in the same, we're sharing the same society, and there's nothing that we can do about it.
Nothing. Funny enough, when I started my new job, so the lady that does payroll sent me an email asking me some questions. This was actually before I started, so whilst I was onboarding, and then she was like, we have the same birthday, and I was like, oh my god, like that's so cool. Like, I rarely meet people like that have the same birthday as me, because it's such a weird birthday. She was like, yeah, like I love it, Gemini. It's just so annoying that Donald Trump. So she agreed. She was like, yeah, a lot of people don't share the same birthday as us. And then I went back to her an email and I was like, yeah, so crazy. She was like, oh my god, other than like Donald Trump, but let's not tell anyone that. And I was just like, oh my god, like thank god, like we're like-minded. Because just imagine if she'd been like, oh my gosh, isn't it so cool, we have the same birthday as Donald Trump. And it's like, now I have to work with you.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into this other. Do you know my thing with this documentary, or this?
Wait, let's get there.
No, because I have to say this, yeah. It's both comical, but it's also quite sad. Like,
this is it. Like,
it's a conundrum.
The thing is that, like, and someone says it later on in the documentary, if it wasn't so tragic, if the consequences weren't so tragic, yeah, it would actually be laughable. It would be so funny, yeah. But it's just like, actually, it gets a bit dark. And you're kind of like, whoa, the fuck? But it's so ridiculous that you're just like, what the fucking hell?
And some of the one particular key here is also quite ridiculous. So it's like,
girl,
it's difficult to, yeah. Okay.
So this documentary is called The Girl Who Became Three Boys. I think by the title alone, you can realize this is some fuck shit, okay? Also, to add to the fuck shit, this documentary came out in 2012 on Channel 4, and it shows, okay, if you have any history with or any experience with Channel 4 documentaries, any experience with 2012, yeah, you already know the vibe, okay?
It's the animation for me. It's the animation for me.
That's my crime. That's
my crime.
Because it's so ridiculous.
The animation looks like...
Was 2012 that long ago that this was acceptable? Like, I can't even imagine that this was acceptable in 2012.
It was over 10 years ago, which is fucking
wild. But still. 10 years ago, were they doing shit like that?
The animation is like... It's like... I don't even know, because it's like the first generation of Sims ever.
Sims, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
or
how
maybe even like what they were drawing when they were first planning to do Sims before it became computerized. Yeah,
like it's insane. And this is their real life reenactment that they've put there for us to watch. And
they've placed it on purpose. They put it there
because at first I thought, is this a joke? Like, but no, it's real.
No, it's for real. It's for real. Yeah. It's for real. But other than that, I didn't really mind the documentary. I was like, this is, when you accept it for what it is, you're like, all right, cool, we're here. This is what it is. Fine.
I enjoyed it. It was funny, and it was just like, it was interesting.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Yeah.
But yeah, it's about catfishing, basically. The first person we meet, and she is our key talking head. Her name is Jessica Sayers, okay? And she is one of the two victims in the documentary. She's here with us in the documentary as herself. The other victim hides her identity and her name, so we refer to her henceforth as Alice, okay? Jessica is so funny to me, yeah. Jessica is so okay, this is gonna sound so unrelated. There's this video going around on Twitter at the moment, yeah, of like these policemen. It's like a fight. There's like, they're all white. There's a policeman trying to like reprimand someone, and then like everyone's fighting everyone, and then some woman gets hit with like a wheel that just comes out of nowhere. Have you seen it? It's a crazy video, yeah. And someone quote tweeted it and was like, most of the people they know that come to the UK have only been to either Oxford or London, yeah, and they wonder what the rest of the UK is like. And that video is a prime example of what the rest of the UK is like, yeah. Jessica is a prime example of what the rest of the UK is like.
Yeah.
She's from Surrey, which is like not that far from London, but it's not London, yeah. And she just embodies to me like just a typical
UK
Brit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
a
there's
white
a Jessica
one.
anywhere in this country.
And
that
they could
you
be
go
like
to.
her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they could be like her. But I'm really happy she was in this documentary because she's made for television.
Yeah, she is.
I want to see her on Big Brother. Like, I want her on Big Brother.
Gemma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives Gemma Collins, yeah.
Exactly. That's it in one.
That's her, yeah.
Exactly.
That's it, yeah.
So at the time that this happens, Jess is 15. She lives with her nan. And even like saying nan, that's just that side of Britain. That's like, oh yeah, my nan. Anyway, she lives with her nan. And she is friends with the other girl, Alice, right? So they're friends. And they also have a friend in their group called Gemma. And Gemma's a bit older than them because she can drive. They don't really say how much older Gemma is than them.
Because they were like 15 at the time. I think Gemma was like 17.
Oh, okay, I thought they were acting like she was like 20 or something.
No,
but yeah, okay, she's 17. So she can drive, they can't. And like back then, when someone can drive, like remember when Liz first like, because Liz was the first one to pass, it's like, oh my God, you're like God. But remember also in college, yeah, like the certain people would have like a Mini Cooper, and it's like having a Mini Cooper or Fiat 500 was like, you are the creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. Yeah.
Your parents really love you kind of vibes.
They love you.
Me, I'm at the bus stop, but it was like, raw, mad.
And I remember Max driving as well.
Oh yeah, I remember. But then there was like, you live where I don't live.
You live where I don't live, so it doesn't help me. But I just remember Max. It was such a big
sometimes when you used to get rides to like where the McDonald's was, like when you would drive literally.
Those are good ass days. But yeah, no, I remember Liz driving. That was good. She was the first
one of us
to wasn't it Liz then
to pass and get a car.
Then Nicole.
No, I didn't pass till uni. I did my driving lessons at second year uni.
So did Nicole. One of you passed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was Liz and Nicole. Nicole didn't pass till first. So it was Liz then Nicole.
Then me.
Because Nicole was driving her mum's car.
Oh, the Peugeot. No,
it wasn't the Peugeot. It was the Mercedes. She was driving the old Mercedes A-Class. I remember it was her mum's car. It kind of almost looks like a Smart but bigger.
Oh, it was, okay. So her first one was the Peugeot, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I remember she had the Peugeot. For ages. Yeah.
And then it was you, and then it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when, like, at that time, yeah, when the first person has a car and, like, you're that age, it's like, oh, my God, amazing. So, yeah, she's a bit older than them, but she can drive, so they love it, right? And maybe they just loved her because of the car, because, I don't know, it seems there's a whole... The friendship's weird, yeah?
It's weird.
And Jess's grandma is also like, fam, this is fucking weird. Like, hasn't she got friends her own age? Which is why I thought that maybe she was, like, 20 or something. But she was... I mean, I guess 15 and 17 is a bit weird, because, like, you're not... Like 17, you're in
different spaces. One
college,
person hasn't done their GCSEs. The other person is thinking about uni. It's wild.
Yeah, strange. So all of this happened like 2009. We're talking like MSN days, yeah. So they're always on MSN. Oh, I miss MSN days so much, man.
Me on MSN talking to Chris Brown. Good time.
You might have been, fam. If this girl can get away with this, fam. So Alice gets a friend request from this guy called...
I had so many MSN boyfriends. I just realised like a lot of my first like quote unquote relationships were MSN. And these are guys I
all
never
like internet
met.
stuff, innit? Like you never meet them.
It's like it brings home this. Like these are guys I never ever met.
And this is the thing. I think that when you watch this documentary, you have to watch it with back then eyes. You can't watch it with eyes like now because there's no FaceTime. There's no like Instagram. There's no, literally it was Facebook was it.
And I remember
even
like,
Facebook wasn't like it was about your statuses. It wasn't about like all your pictures and stuff.
And literally I remember when I was in, because this was when we were in St. Martha's, me and Liz, I had this like MSN boyfriend. He was older. Like when you're going through life, you don't realise like some of this stuff is weird. Like he was like older, like a good, I think he was like in his 20s, and I was like very much in secondary school.
Like I'm wearing uniform.
And you don't think, you think, oh my God, like I'm so special. Like
yeah, of course. But that's
like,
again why the whole power dynamic. Because you feel like, oh yeah, I'm grown. I must be really mature because this old boy likes me. Girls are more mature anyway. So Well, fam, you are being preyed upon.
Yeah.
Literally, you're being groomed. So Alice gets a friend request from this guy called Aaron, and they start talking on MSN. Ron.
Bring that Key and Peele, like, fucking hell.
Honestly. Oh, those videos are amazing. So they're talking on Facebook, and she clocks that Gemma, her friend, is a mutual friend with Aaron. And back in the day, like even now, if you see someone's a mutual, like you're more inclined to be like, all right, cool, yeah, let me give this person a chance or talk to this person or accept a friend request. So there's bare pics of him, like of Aaron, right? And Gemma confirms, oh yeah, like I know him, like he's real, I'm dating his older brother Jack, right? So okay, Alice and Aaron start dating, but Aaron never really wants to meet up in real life until Alice is kind of like, bro, meet up with me or we're breaking up. So they meet up in the park, and he's wearing like dark baggy clothing and a hat, okay? And Alice is like, yeah, he just looked like a normal guy, like he didn't look like it was Gemma. Spoiler alert, it's Gemma, which is why we're here, yeah. But cool, they meet up in the park, cool, fine. I've put here, we have a couple of other talking heads. One is this guy called Ryan, who's a journalist from The Sun, and he has like zero charisma. I just thought it's important for me to point out. He literally, like, it's like, I want to say watching paint dry. I just don't feel like everyone is meant for the camera. And sometimes like saying no to opportunities that you don't feel are suited to you, because it's just a bit like, babe, why are you here, kind of thing. It was just so bad that I had to mention it. So then we also meet Ollie, who's a court reporter, and you can tell that he's really happy to be here telling the story about this case. Like he really thinks it's fascinating, and that, oh my god, Gemma was such a genius to be able to pull this off. But like, she wasn't. She just was. I mean, anyway, we'll get into our thoughts on the situation later.
She just happened to like meet two stupid people.
It was just a perfect set of circumstances, really. So here we get a little recap. So far, Alice, Gemma, Jessica, they're friends. Alice is dating Aaron. It's 2009, and Alice introduces Aaron to her friends, including Jess. So now Jess and Aaron are also friends.
But this introduction is all on MSN. It's not in real life.
Thank you. And but they do meet in real life, or like they do meet in real life because or speak on the phone at least, because Jess is like,
Aaron had dark brown hair. I'd say he was about 5'7", 5'8". He smelled like Sean Paul Gaultier. That's like a perfume for men. Whatever outfit he would wear, he would always accessorise it with that.
You know, Aaron sounded like a normal 15-year-old boy whose voice hadn't broken yet. Like he had dark hair, and he wore Jean Paul Gaultier. And she made sure to tell us that that's a perfume for men, like just in case you don't know. Actually, Jean Paul Gaultier, as she says, is a perfume for men.
Thanks so much for that.
Girl, she says that he also had a thing with like his hat. Like he always had a hat on and he never took it off. And not only was it a hat, it was them bubble hats, like, you know, the ones with the two little things, the tassels. And I was like, I know exactly the hat that you're talking about. Always wore it. This is grounds for like dismissal anyway. So I mean even if it was a boy. So Jess tells us at some point she asked if him and Gemma were related because they had the same teeth, and she describes how like, Aaron kind of panics and like leaves and texts her saying, oh, you know, I feel sick. And she's like, well, I've got a toilet perfectly capable of holding sick. Why wasn't he just sick over here?
Girl, Jessica,
honestly, like every minute she was on screen, I loved her more and more.
I wanted her to be in my life because she would add so much comedic value. Like
so much. I want her on TV. She needs to be on Big Brother. Yeah,
I get what she means about the teeth, because I just, at first I was like, our teeth, that, whatever. But then I realised if somebody had your teeth, I would know.
You would know. You'd be like, oh,
I know your exact mouth. Like, I would know.
Yeah, you literally would know. Exactly. And the thing is that, like, Jessica, it's like, I don't know what it is. Jessica, I don't think Jessica's stupid, okay? I think she's a bit like, she's a bit maybe slow or basic at times, but like she's not stupid, because even as she's telling us, there are signs. So it's not as if she didn't see the signs. With Alice, I don't think Alice saw any signs. Jess saw the signs and ignored them, it seemed, or like disregarded them.
I think Jessica's stupid.
Well, maybe.
She's a lovely girl, don't get me twisted.
No, but she clocked, do you know what I mean? I guess she can look back and be
but she's clocking in hindsight. At the time, there were signs that would make you clock in now and present day.
No, but she clocked them at the time, but she just disregarded them. She said, oh, like they have the same teeth. She asked them, she's like, oh, are you guys related? Do you get what I mean? But she just didn't take it further. Like, all she had to do was continue the journey, and she would have got there much sooner, and none of this would have happened. So this
and
bit,
what a tangled web we weave.
and what a tangled web we weave.
When we conspire to deceive. That is actually the summation of
Where's
this.
that from? Where's that from?
Tupac. It's from Tupac. Like, honestly, yeah. That is, it just came to my head, and that actually summarizes this documentary. We could leave it at that.
We could leave it there,
that is what the documentary is. Like,
Yeah,
Tupac
really
was ahead
is.
of his time, because who would have known
100%.
that a woman
Oh,
called
it's so sad that he's
Gemma,
not here anymore.
literally to see what his,
Yeah. So Ollie, the court reporter, tells us that basically Aaron had this pattern of saying something tragic had happened if he ever was in danger of being found out. Like, basically giving Sweet Bobby, like, something doesn't add up, or something, is a bit weird, and then he's, oh, my brother died, oh, my brother has leukemia, like that kind of stuff, right?
How many
and that's important
tragedies
later
in
on.
one family? That's the question we
Just
all
only
need.
you. Okay, so now we hear about Luke. Luke is a new guy, and Luke moves to Jessica. Okay, again, MSN. They meet up eventually, they kiss. Jess keeps talking about how chavvy he is, yeah? Oh, he's got spiky hair, like tracksuit bottoms, he speaks like a chav, like he doesn't write in full sentences, he wears a snapback. And I'm like, babe, but you dated him though. But you were with him though. So what's all this classism
Like, when
now?
you break up with a guy, you say his dick was trash, but you were with him.
You with him. And also, like, you yourself, sis, you don't speak very well either, I can't lie. So, like, you're giving chav too. So
You're equally yoked.
You're equally yoked. You deserve each other. But the point they're trying to make is just show, like, how, Aaron was so different to Luke, and they were both Gemma. Like, they gave them such distinct personalities and blah blah blah. Apparently,
think it's weird though that she knew that Luke had spiky hair, but then I don't understand the pictures that she was
because
using.
in the pictures, I think Gemma would just spike up her hair take pictures for Facebook, but then in real life, just had a hat. So it was the bobble hat
But
with
you
Aaron.
can still see. It's like, if you took a picture with a shaved head, I would still know it was you. What the fuck?
This is why none of this makes any kind of sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any kind of sense. And I guess the pictures were shit. But the thing is, okay, cool getting catfished by a picture, yeah. But like in the real life, yeah. But then also Jess did say that, like, whenever they would meet up, he would have a hat on, like a snapback, and he also would have a hoodie on. So that really all she could see was like his nose and his mouth. She couldn't really see his eyes.
Oh God. So
and I'm just like, babe.
Dwight told us from time, the eyes are the groin of the soul, or whatever it was he said, yeah.
The groin of the face.
We need to be seeing people's eyes.
It just doesn't make any... It's
the
weird
very
as well,
least.
man. How do I even know that you're fine? So yeah, it's big weirdo behaviour. Apparently she doesn't want to lose them as friends, so she's creating these like boyfriends so she could still be around them.
Which was weird because they were friends already. That's not what it is. It's weird.
Exactly. I hate when people try and, like, what's the word? Like, rationalise just weird behaviour like that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she's just a weirdo.
Yeah. Maybe she's just a psychopath. Like, yeah.
Right. So we meet two more of Gemma's friends who seem to be like her age. One's called Ashley and one's called Natalie. And basically all they here to tell us is that she was a barman and she used to lie a lot.
My true crime, I was going to say, but then I was like, I feel like maybe I'm being a bit too mean.
Huh?
Ashley's the black one, right?
Yeah.
It was the braids at the end.
Okay, do you know what? Yeah.
But then I was like, am I being a bitch? Because even before we got to the... I am.
No. I was going to say it, yeah, as my crime. And then I was like to myself, BD, you need to chill. Like,
I'm so happy we're always on the same wavelength. Like,
yeah,
at first
I didn't put it. I was like, I have to chill, because it's like sometimes like we put this pressure of our hair having to be perfect on ourselves. Obviously, it was put on us because like that was literally it. Like, how many times a day do you think about your hair and what you're gonna do to it?
I get it. Trust me, I get it. And I'm not saying that it's bad for your hair to be a bit like, but it first started before we got to the braids. It first started with when she was a talking head, and she had that, I don't know what it was. It kind of looks like she looks mixed race to me, and it looks like she blow dried her hair. But you know when you blow dry your hair, then the bottom is straight, but the ends are puffy. Then you just pack it, so then it's puff pun like.
Yep. But also remember the time that it was 2012.
But it was still giving.
It wasn't great. It was not great. I'm not even trying to defend it. In
fact, yeah, that's what it was. Her whole hair gives I only have white friends, which I think is apt.
Yeah. But then at the end, like
Oh
the
my
last
God.
scene.
Oh my, no, I'm sorry, no. Because you know you're going to be on TV as well.
I just think that, okay, you know how you said, like, okay, maybe she's mixed race, or maybe she's mainly around white people, yeah? When you're mainly around white people, you don't have the pressure of black people, of like the hair pressure of black people. No one's, do you know, yeah? As I'm sitting here, yeah, I have locks, yeah, faux locks, and I have my scarf tied on my head. If you know, you know. When you're going to bed, you just wrap your scarf and you go. The past 2 days, yeah, at work, have I been bothered? No, at least I've gone to work like this with my scarf like this. Yesterday, someone was like, oh my goodness, like, I really love the bow.
Not the bad.
You don't know that I woke up like this. You don't know that this is how I literally went to sleep. Like, because they don't know. They don't have any. If my edges aren't done, if anything, they don't know. They don't have any concept of what looks good and what doesn't. Let me. Do you think I would ever go to a brunch with my friends or around black people and have my hair looking like this? Impossible. Because I know the pressures. So if you don't have those pressures on you, you're free. You're liberated.
Free as a
That's why you can
bird.
go out looking like that. I'm telling you, I had to really stop myself from doing it because I don't think it's her fault.
I was just said to myself, am I being a bitch? Like, am I being a bitch?
This is why, yeah. Like, no one's saying that anyone's perfect, you know. But when you have self-awareness, you're able to be like, do you know what? These are the thoughts and feelings that I have. Perhaps I don't, you know, I don't voice them today. Yeah, perhaps I don't share. Well, we did. But we're only in the context of chastising ourselves. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, so yeah, I'm just here to tell you that I went through the same journey.
I wrote it down and I was like, let me
and here we are, we're better for it. You what? You wrote it down?
And I deleted it.
Good,
well,
well,
don't
good.
be a bitch.
See?
Don't be a bitch. Growth. That's growth. People tell me, oh, this or that. My sister said to me, oh, I'm so rude. She's only rude back to me when I'm rude, but I'm growing. It's growth.
Yeah. Growth. Yeah.
Said I'm unprovoked rude, but I'm growing.
This is the thing. And being able to recognize the bitch in you, and then you can tame her.
Yeah. Put her in a box for now. She might come
and that's
out
what we're doing.
Out a bit later, but at least in this instance, you know.
At least not for this. Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. So Ashley and Natalie are here basically to say like, oh, she's a bum and she lies. Okay. So this is where I've put up until now the documentary is mainly stupid. Okay. But then it gets kind of dark because Jess is telling us, you know, she's 15. All she really wants to do with this her boyfriend, quote unquote, is kiss. She doesn't really want to do anything sexual. But Luke keeps putting his hands down her trousers, making her really uncomfortable. She's not on it, right? So because of this reason, they break up and Luke goes off with another girl.
But it's more than that because it's not only making her uncomfortable, like she says, because I literally wrote, he begins to sexually assault her because she says no and he keeps doing it.
And he keeps doing it, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. She's actively saying no and he just continues doing it. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not with this. Which is good for her. She breaks up with him. And then they make it a point to be like, oh, Luke started dating another girl. And like, she knows the girl. But I'm just like, guys, like, we know in hindsight that Luke doesn't exist. So why are we stressing the fact that he went off to date someone else? We know it was Gemma.
And that whole thing was murky because Jessica says she reached out to the other girl and the other girl said she never met Luke. But Luke said they got off. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah, it's like Luke trying to make her jealous with somebody else. So Gemma's just catfishing another person. Like, for what? Anyway, irrelevant. So now Jess meets another guy called Connor, right? Who conveniently knows Luke. And Connor's like, oh, I know Luke. You deserve better than him. They start dating. Connor is very different to Luke. They say he has the Justin Bieber hair, the skinny jeans, and he's the opposite of Luke in pictures.
Do you know that black girl on TikTok? I don't know if you've seen her TikToks, but she always does like these noughties kind of video remakes. Like she did one for One Direction.
No, I have not seen.
I'm sure you've seen her before, and she'll do like the Justin Bieber fringe thing. I'll post it.
Oh, maybe send me because what I'm imagining, I don't know if it's the right thing.
Yeah, there's a video when she does one. It's like, who says I can't wear my hair? Do you know the song? Yeah, okay, but that's what I'm imagining in my head.
Yes, because that's what he looks like in pictures.
I never had that Bieber mania. It never touched me.
Me neither, but you know what? I did really like that album. It came out when I was doing my pre-reg year because that album got me to work and back because I was traveling far. It must have been like 25th Purpose. Did he have an album called Purpose?
Oh yeah, that was his R&B album, wasn't it?
Well, okay, yeah. Well, I like that album.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I wasn't really obsessed with with Justin Bieber. But look at the demographic. Of course they were obsessed with Justin Bieber.
Fair enough.
So in pictures, he was giving Justin Bieber. In real life, he'd always be wearing a hat and a huge hoodie. And also manipulation, because he told her that he had alopecia and he was really shy. So he didn't want to ruin things by like, I don't know, being bold. I don't know. But he/she, which is Gemma, knows that Jess's brother had alopecia. So Jess is like, listen, I don't want to pressure him because I know what alopecia can do to someone's confidence. So that's not really going to be a deal breaker for me. Fine. The other thing that is just outlandish, it's the only word I can think of, is that Connor doesn't speak. Like, he doesn't vocalize. He doesn't speak, right? And the person conducting the interview, I think his name is Norman, is me.
I'm just struggling with something here. So he was there in person?
Yeah.
In the flesh?
Yeah.
And he's texting you?
Yeah, he did it all the time. Never spoke. It was always like, if you get your phone out, it'd be like, right, hi Norman, can you go make me a cup of tea? And I'll show you that, and go make me tea. And then you would reply back verbally, and I'm like, thanks for the tea. Like that.
Because he asks her, he's like, so I don't get it, like, you just wouldn't speak. And Jess is like, yeah, like he would text me and I would read it and I'd respond verbally, and then like that's how we would like communicate.
Girl, stand up.
Like, anyway, it just seemed that at this point Gemma just couldn't be asked to do any voices. That's what it seemed like to me. Like, she was just kind of like, okay, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, I'm over it, because how many vocal like whatever can you do? Like, I agree. I just feel like she was just like, I can't bother.
She was like, listen, this is the way to do it now. I can't be asked.
And also, she told so many ridiculous lies that were lapped up. Why would she not think this would be?
Yeah, exactly. But now we meet Liana, who is us. Liana is us. I like it when it's like with The Office, when you have someone, for example, like Oscar in the mix, and like for the most part, Oscar is us.
Can fuck off, man.
I get that, but most of the time Oscar is us, because Oscar's looking around like, what the fuck is going on here?
Okay,
even though he too is he's part of the madness, and he has his own madness, but for the most part Oscar is us. We're just looking at everything like, what the fuck is going on here?
He's the voice of reason.
Yes, kind of. Liana is the voice of reason. She's friends with Alice and Jess, and she's just like, are you people dumb? There's no pictures on their Facebook. They've added everybody at the same time. Like, this is very sus, and it's like nice to have Liana here, because it's like, great, good, at least there was someone in the situation who was able to see through the situation at the time, you know. She also says it's weird because all three of these fake boys, Aaron, Luke and Connor, live in this place called St. George's Hill, which is a gated community where celebrities live, right? Now, I went to go do my Googles,
I did as well.
Did you see the house, the £13 million house?
Yeah.
Bro.
It's not.
You don't live there and you're on MSN in hoodies meeting in the park. You don't, bro. You don't. You don't.
Let's all add 2 and 2 together and get 4, please.
Let's get 4. Like, let's just be honest. Let's just be real. This doesn't make any sense. There's no way. This house was only 6 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and it was £13 million. Like, it was big. It was nice and everything. Obviously, the interior wasn't my cup of tea, but it was 13 million. Are you telling me?
Do you know what £13 million is?
Somebody who owns a £13 million house is not doing up
meeting you in the park, man.
And they're not doing Chavy Life spiky hair. Even if they wanted to, the parents aren't allowing it. It's not happening.
They're in Eton.
And on top of that, they would go there to meet up with them, and they would wait there. She said she waited for 7 hours one time. Then she was going to knock on the door. How she got even to the door, I don't know, because it's a gated community. But they said, no Connor lives here. Of course he doesn't fucking live there.
This doesn't exist.
So we're back with Aaron. Nope, we're not. We're back with Alice, who tells us about having sex with Aaron.
This was confusing. Yeah. I'd like a play-by-play. I would like to see it.
I don't want to know any further thing.
Because the reason I'm saying this is I just want to understand how it happened. And
so I think, okay, so basically it's their first time. And Alice is kind of like, Aaron was really nice about it and really like gentle with her and gave her pleasure, right? Aaron wants to keep all his clothes on, including the hat, which that's another crime, okay? And Alice is like, she's not had sex before, so she's like, okay, maybe like it's normal, like maybe people just like have sex with their clothes on. But then like one time she finds a pink dildo in his bag.
But this is what I'm saying, that it doesn't make sense.
I think that she was using the dildo on Alice.
I get that, but I mean, maybe if you actually don't know, but even no, because this is what I mean, it doesn't make sense, because like, okay, so if you have the dildo in your pants, a guy's dick, for lack of a better word, is not just immediately erect.
She's 15. She don't know.
Okay. But
She doesn't know.
Even at that,
and
was she holding the dildo? Nice.
Yeah, but she doesn't. I think that like she literally didn't know. It could have been that it was dark. It could have been like under the covers.
This is why I'm saying that I would like to, not to pry into people's, but I just want to understand how, because so many things that should have been like, this doesn't make sense. Like,
but I think that it doesn't make sense. Many things didn't make sense.
It's the 15 of it all. I think it's the 15 of it all.
But it's the 15 of it all. It's the inexperience of it all. It's the Alice like really liked Aaron. It's the like believing that this is a good person.
Do you know what, it's true? Because if I think
back
to me at 15, if I really liked a guy, even if we were having sex, which I wasn't having sex at 15, but even if we were having sex at 15 and something that maybe felt a bit off to me, and this was my first sexual experience, I probably wouldn't think.
You might look
even
back
if
in
I
a few
think
years
it's weird, I
like,
might not really flag it, because
exactly.
What do I know? Yeah,
what do you know? And also like you feel happy with this person, and also it's like, oh yeah, like it's whatever, you know. So I can get why this happened the way it happened, but it is weird because Gemma, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Basically, what is your problem?
Yeah, but Gemma, what is your that is the thing.
No,
Gemma,
what is your
problem? That is the thing that annoys me. We never find out what her problem is. What is your fucking problem? Like,
what is your problem? I'm telling you. Anyway, we'll get into Gemma later. So meanwhile, Connor, who is now dating Jess.
But so Alice is beefing Aaron because she's like, what the fuck? And Aaron's like, I only used it once.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah. After she finds the thing, yeah, because Aaron is like, oh, actually, I only used it one time. But I feel like this is the moment where like Alice is like,
standing in the water.
Weird. Yeah, like even if you believed everything else, you ignored everything else, you see a pink dildo, and bear in mind, this is not like you're grown and like sex toys are the norm for you. You literally had sex for the first time recently, and now you see, this is like going from 0 to 100 for a 15-year-old. Yeah, and it's like, what the heck? Yeah, so she's not really chatting to Aaron that much. They're not speaking as much or whatever. Cool. Park that 1 second. Onto this side, Connor and Jess. Connor's grand dies. I mean, does she know? Of course not, because Connor's not real. But he now is like, oh, Jess, can I stay at your house, with like your nan's house, because my gran has died? And I was like, kind of like, okay, obviously like my gran has died and stuff, but like I say, we weren't really boys like that. But I can't imagine that my grandma is dead and I go to someone else's house to stay there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at home with my people.
Like, do you not want to be with your mum whose mum died, or whose dad like? Weird. Anyway, the nan has no time for this, but she's like, oh, whatever, fine. Like, his nan's died, cool, come over. So this bit, I'm actually going to put trigger warning, sexual assault. Connor and Jess are in bed and they're hugging and they're kissing, and Jess tells us, he takes off her pajama shorts and her knickers and starts performing oral sex on her, and Jess is saying no. Like, Jess is vocal in the no.
Yeah.
So there's no one can misconstrue, no one can say, oh, but she wanted it. Jess says no. She's like, stop it, my nan's next door, I don't want to be doing this.
So I was saying no, and he didn't stop, but then he was getting aggressive and he was inserting more and more fingers into me, and I was saying no, stop, because I was in a lot of pain and he wouldn't stop. No matter how much I begged him to stop, he was not stopping. As I tried to move myself back, I felt something hard go into me. I didn't know what it was because I'd never experienced sex before, so I did not know I had nothing to compare it to. And I was in so much pain, and I was screaming, Connor, can you fucking stop? I said that like 3 times and he couldn't stop him.
During this or after this, Jess's phone rings and it's Alice. And then Connor realizes it's Alice. And remember, typing. Connor doesn't speak. So Connor is texting Jess to tell Alice that Aaron has been in a car accident.
Because Alice is calling, and I think Connor clocks, Alice is calling Jess to be like, something is off with Aaron.
Yeah. And exactly. To share her thoughts, because that was within a week of her finding the dildo.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, Jess has just had her own experience and she sounds off. So Connor / Gemma / Luke / Aaron doesn't want all of this to come out. So now she has to make something happen to Aaron.
Another tragedy, which goes back to her saying her brother died and her brother has leukemia. So now Connor, Gemma, Luke, Aaron is saying, listen, you need to tell her that Aaron's had a car crash, he's in the hospital, he's gone through the windshield, blah 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 blah.
And Alice is having a breakdown.
I mean, I get it. I get why you'd be having. It's like Sweet Bobby. You care about this person. Yeah, they've been a bit weird, but now you've heard something bad has happened to them.
Sweet Bobby because you've met this person and had physical interactions.
Yeah, and you're 15, so like you know, you don't know
heightened.
any better. Yeah. So
you know, I'm happy my parents were strict.
Bro, I thank God every day.
I was like, I'm happy. Like my parents were strict. Because what the fuck is this? Like,
I thank God every day. This could have never happened to me. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's actually like
I wouldn't have
it's
been
not
allowed
about me
to go
being
to all these
smart or
places.
anything. It's just logically it's impossible.
It's just impossible.
That's
It's not
why
like,
all
oh,
my
I'm better than
MSN
anyone.
boyfriends
It's
stayed
just
on
my
MSN.
parents.
And
Bro,
it was talking to you between hours of like when I came back from school and like 7 o'clock when I was allowed on the computer. Like,
and it was a computer. It wasn't laptop days.
Yeah,
So literally,
computer
computers in the
in a
living room.
general
My dad is always
space.
behind my shoulder.
yeah, like that. And I thank God every day because the things that could have happened, like,
Bro.
and it's not because I'm any smarter. Just logistically, this
It's
would
because
never happen.
I wasn't allowed to be any dumber. That's
A
what it
boy
is.
sleeping over.
In
Even
my
like,
house.
I'm married, and the first time we slept over at my parents' house as a married couple, I felt so awkward. Like I was like, this is so strange. I feel so naughty. Like
That's
it's
kind of awkward.
bad. And I'm married. Okay, boy sleeping over in my house. Good luck.
That's so awkward. In your bed as well.
In
Not
my
like he was on
in
the
my
sofa.
bed. I've never
Yeah.
shared a bed with a boy in my parents' house till I was married. Like that is wild. I can't imagine.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, Aaron's in the hospital.
It's just giving Mean Girls. Do you want some condoms? Like, you know what? I think there are ways to support your kids and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, yeah. Kids, future kids, I can tell you for free now, you're not having sex in my house at 15, 16 or whatnot. I don't think it's right, personally.
Yeah, I think it's wild.
I think
to
it's
feel comfortable
insane.
enough. Like Alice
was having sex in her parents' house with this guy, and they
Yeah, and there's even a bit where she was talking about how the Aaron was in the car with her dad or something. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
this
then
guy was
chilling
around
with
your
her brother.
family.
Nah, I'm sorry. You know what? There's parts of African parenting that I think is important, and this having sex in your parents' house at 16, boyfriend nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
I just can't imagine that ever being. I remember my mum found out that I had a boyfriend when I was like, I must have been like 17 or something. And she only found out because I was supposed to do something and I didn't do it. So because I didn't do, like, she asked me, he'd give me a card or something for my birthday, like, oh, to my girlfriend, whatever. And then my mum was like, oh, go and sort out this and that. And if I had done that, I would have remembered that my card was in there and I would have taken it out. But I didn't do it. And then when she found it, she was livid. And that's just me having a boyfriend. That's not even me being sexually active. That's not even me like bringing a boy to the house. That's not me doing any of that.
I think in my house it became okay to like have a boyfriend when we all kind of went to uni. So my first
That's when then they started harassing you, being like, oh, where's your husband?
my
Where's
first
your
proper
husband?
boyfriend was like uni that my parents knew of. It was
that
uni.
came to the house. That sent the singing telegraph. Remember?
That was uni. And then both of my sisters, it's been the same, like uni, and like it's open conversations, like boyfriend, this, that, but like
Yeah, because you're not a child anymore.
Yeah, like I think that's how I would want to be. Like I'm happy to have conversations with my kids about the opposite sex and dating,
and you're
stuff,
gonna like boys. You're gonna want to have sex.
Yeah, we should have those open conversations. But I'm sorry, you're not bringing boys to my house to shag, like, or girls. Sorry, I'm not even being. I'm just because we're talking about this particular situation. But girls or boys, you're not bringing anybody to my house to shag. Like, bro, like that's crazy.
Yeah, wild.
Nah, I can't get behind that one.
Wild. But yeah, but to be fair to Jess's nan, she also wasn't really here for it that much, but because of the whole his nan has died kind of thing, that's why she was even really open to him coming over. But again, being in the room is a bit wild.
This is like a telenovela. It's giving Jane the Virgin, Desperate Housewives.
This is because next, Aaron's in hospital, fine. Connor is still in the house with Jess after this phone call with Alice, okay? And Connor falls asleep. Jess can't fall asleep. She's just been assaulted, okay? She's not really, there. And she looks at Connor while he's sleeping and like sees like the side profile of him and was like, oh my God, this is Aaron.
And I thought we were going to say, oh my God, this is Gemma. And finally be done with this shit.
I'll be done with this shit. I was like, so basically you're telling me that Jess believes that Aaron has dressed up as Connor and come to her house. So Aaron, who's supposed to be in a car accident, is not him, but he for some reason.
No,
Connor,
I'm not gonna lie. This is where it went from the sublime to the ridiculous. My notes
Yeah,
here
of course.
get really, because it just, nothing makes sense anymore.
at this point, I was like, do you know what? I'm done. This is fucking ridiculous, yeah. Because it's like you're jumping through so many hoops, and like the most obvious thing is this is Gemma, but we don't go there.
In fairness to them, which there wouldn't be a lot of fairness I'm giving to them, Gemma had withdrawn from the friendship with the two of them, because obviously she was struggling to keep all these personalities.
She hasn't got time to be Gemma anymore.
Yeah,
she told them she had like a full-time job or something.
So I think Gemma was kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So whilst it did look like Gemma,
Oh, fair enough.
you probably your mind wouldn't go to. It's just like,
and also it goes to Aaron, because Jess initially thought that Gemma and Aaron looked alike anyway.
Yeah, exactly, because Aaron is the most whatever in their life right now.
Yeah,
that's the only fairness I'll give to them.
That's true. I hear that. So Connor leaves the next morning, and she never sees him or hears from him again. Right.
Yeah, but that was a bit murky as well. Why
Why not?
suddenly would you just?
Because I think it's just a timeline of events, because Jess goes to the police, right, and accuses Aaron of assault. I'm very proud of her for doing that, because she didn't have to, and if she didn't, this probably never ever would have even come out, the way that they move. Now Aaron was supposedly in hospital when this happened, so Alice is like to Aaron, mate, just show them your discharge form from the hospital and they'll know that it wasn't you. Obviously he can't do that because he is Gemma, he's also Luke, he's also Connor, and he's also a liar. So now, speaking of Luke,
looks like four things can be true.
Many things can be true at once. So Luke, the chav, Jess's ex, now goes on, again, telenovela, goes on Facebook and is like, oh, obviously I did this, it was me that did it, from nowhere.
I wanted you to hate Connor.
So at this point, Ollie the court reporter gives us a recap of what's actually going on, because as Florence said, we have gone from like the sublime to the ridiculous.
You have a woman pretending to be a man. You have police searching for a suspect who doesn't exist, a male suspect who doesn't exist. He's alleged to have impersonated another male who doesn't exist. And then you have another male who doesn't exist getting in touch and saying, I did it.
And this is the bit I mentioned in the beginning. Ollie is like, if the consequences weren't so tragic in terms of this being sexual assault, this would actually be laughable. It would be like, what the fucking hell is going on?
It doesn't make
here?
any sense. Speaking of consequence,
no sense was made.
Randomly, I always think about the guy Consequence from Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop. Cons.
Yeah, with the teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. It's just like,
I don't know where he is these days.
That's what I was thinking. I wonder where he is all the time.
I might start watching Love and Hip Hop again, you know. I feel like my life needs some... I feel like I need to forget about my life.
No, don't do that. Like, that show is so fucking problematic on so many levels. Like, when I used to watch it, I didn't think that. I was just, people are being like, you're doing too much, like, let people enjoy things, Like, it's just, somebody did some TikTok on how Princess Diaries makes no sense. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Yeah.
What do you mean it makes no sense?
Like, oh, how does a single mom afford this flat in San Francisco? Then you're this child of a prince, but you go to this school, a European prince, but you go to this school, and then the grandma comes with an American accent and tells you that if you do not accept the throne, then Genovia is not going to exist anymore. They need to have better bylaws. And I literally just commented.
It's a movie, bro. It's fiction.
I was like, let people enjoy things. Why?
This is not a documentary.
There's some things you don't like. My sister recently is on this. Like, she watches all these like dissecting of like movies and stuff, and she watched one on how Pretty Woman is super problematic, and it's like, yeah, I get it, but like, there's just some things that you don't need to watch with a 2023 mind. Just watch it for what it is, and the
thing is, you have to watch it with the context of when it came out, because it came out at that time.
Exactly. And just enjoy it.
If that movie came out now, then okay, maybe you say okay, blah, but it makes sense to be like, oh, that's actually kind of crazy looking at it from this point of view.
Yeah, but like, then just enjoy it.
This is not the point of view from which it was made.
Exactly. And just enjoy the thing. So I say all this.
No, the Princess Diaries thing that I saw.
I say all this to say Love and Hip Hop is problematic as fuck.
Yeah. The Princess Diaries thing I saw was you know the scene where like Mia gets her hair blown out and she looks really pretty and stuff, and her friend is like, oh, your dad died like 3 months ago, like get over it. Yeah. I was like, that's actually a very wild thing to say. And the premise of them like clowning her because she was pretty, it's like, babe, I remember even as a child when I watched it, I was so annoyed. You know, in that scene when like I think it's like a party or something, she gets like trapped in the tent thing. I was like, girl, you need to believe in your source. You are a bad bitch.
A bad bitch, yeah.
And everyone's just hating on you because one, you're either a bad bitch now like them, or they're never going to be a bad bitch and they're hating.
Yeah. Even when she became a prince, like everyone found out she was a princess, they were hating, and it was like, this doesn't make sense. Why would you hate?
I was like, how you hating on me? How am I ashamed? I am the Don Dada. You people should bow to me, peasants.
Literally.
But so the police arrest Aaron, and they strip search him and realize that he is a she and she is Gemma. So that's that. At some point during all of this, again, from the sublime to the ridiculous, Gemma claims that Luke, who is a character of her own making, Luke punched her, and then she claims compensation from the Criminal Injuries Compensation Board. So because of this, she, in addition to everything else, which we'll get into, she gets charged with fraud. And it's like, again, you didn't even have to do that because one, Luke didn't punch you because he doesn't exist, and two, you didn't have to go and claim compensation. But you did all those things out of your own free will. Why did you do that? What's wrong with you?
The one thing Jessica did that I didn't like, though, is I kind of feel like she downplayed Alice's assault.
Yes, yeah.
I really didn't like that because
I didn't like it
she's
either.
kind of like, oh, well, yes, Alice didn't consent to sleeping with a girl, but, you know, she consented to sex. So it's not as bad as me because I didn't consent to anything. And whilst maybe...
you're doing like rape Olympics here.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
whilst maybe Gemma does have an extra like anger towards Jess, I just feel like both women were assaulted. Like, just leave it at that. I didn't like that at all. And she said that, and she was just trying to make it as if like, oh well, my situation was worse than Alice's. Like, oh well, Alice actually liked Aaron and like had a good time with him, but the only issue is that like she didn't consent for it to be being a girl. Either way, you guys were both assaulted. And it's not mine is worse than yours. Yes, both violations.
And also, that's supposed to be your friend. So why are you coming on here to
I don't think they're friends anymore, though.
Yeah, I can't imagine they would be. But so it's March 2012. Gemma pleads guilty to 2 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of fraud, as I mentioned earlier. The judge orders a psychiatric report on Gemma before like sentencing, and so they say she's got borderline learning disability, difficult understanding social situations, and then autistic spectrum disorder. I just feel like those things may be true, and like I don't know, it's just bringing up the autism thing.
And also, nobody's well. Like, my sister and I were talking about this yesterday because we were talking about someone who did something wild, and I was just like, oh, anyway, she's not well. And I was just like, yeah, but nobody's well. And that's just the truth. If you did a psychiatric report on everyone has something. Do you know what I mean?
And I didn't like the use of the autistic spectrum disorder because I'm like, that's got nothing to do with anything.
That's got nothing to do with it. Some
because are you the only one? Are you the only one? Of course.
Yeah, some people more than others, but everyone's got something. This is not an excuse. Like, it's not a thing. Like, I don't know what this report has to do with anything. If you came out and you were like, oh, like she has borderline personality disorder, and they
said she had no personality disorders. They actually
literally
said that.
If you said that,
so what are we doing here?
So what's she's just a fucking weirdo.
Do you know what it is? Mental health issues, like you said, everyone's got something wrong. Mental health issues are not new, but I feel like social media means that the way that these mental health issues present is so much wilder or weirder than before. Before, if Gemma was in a time where there was no MSN, there was no Facebook, there was no this, she can't go around and be doing this in this way. Like, she might still be a bit fucked and like, you know, acting weird or whatever, but like it wouldn't present in this way. But as technology advances and stuff, there's just so many more ways that your mental health issues can present. That's how some people will be running stan accounts. That's how some people will be on things, commenting mad things and be catfishing.
I've tried to tell you people, stan account is not, you're not
it's a mental illness.
Go and get
because
it
it's no longer whoever appreciation. It's I'm gonna kill yourself because you don't like my person.
You can't be feeling like this over. So even if you do know a person and that's someone in your real life, you cannot be that obsessed with another human being. What more, someone that doesn't even know your existence? You cannot be.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's his own mental illness.
I'll say it and say again, Nicki Minaj ones are the worst because that woman is problematic as fuck. Like, Beyonce stans, I can kind of like, I wouldn't say I can understand, but
standing is weird, but I can understand someone's appreciation for Beyonce and her music, and because she didn't really do shit. Do you know what I mean? She's not out here rallying the troops.
She's not problematic.
She's not inciting violence. She's not.
But the ones that are problematic and you still stan, Girl, get it together.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
Weird.
But yeah, Gemma gets 30 months in jail. I looked at her update. She only serves 15 months, but obviously that's typical of the UK. She's out by the time she's 21. And in the documentary, we see that Alice and Jess both have boyfriends. We meet Jess's one. His name is Jordan. Are they still together? I don't know. I tried to find...
She says that he has boy bits.
I was like, hey, girl. I was trying to find, like, Jess and see what she's up to, but I couldn't find her, and there's bare Jessica Sayers around, so...
And I couldn't find anything on Gemma.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything either. Probably for the best. Yeah.
I'm sure in about, like, 5 years' time, another documentary will come out about how she catfished. Like, you don't, like, that kind of behaviour.
But this is what I'm saying, like, okay, you go to jail, and then what?
Yeah,
like, what is the solution? It's like someone the other day was saying how, like, they don't think that, like, sexual predators can be rehabilitated. I don't know that they can, because you have, like, so what, you being in prison is keeping you away from your potential victims, right? You come out and then what?
Yeah,
same with this, like, you come out and then what? Like, what did prison do you? What did you learn in prison that means that now you have changed behaviour? I don't know. Maybe there's stuff that they do.
No, I 100% agree. I don't feel, and that, like, prison, is not, like, it's not the rehabilitation people think.
It's not rehabilitation.
You're just in there with a bunch of like-minded, like, problematic people. I agree with you. There's certain crimes, I think, like, if you commit a crime like fraud or maybe even murder, like a one-off murder, not serial killer. Yeah. Maybe going to prison can be like, oh shit, like, I never want to be in that situation again.
But this is the thing. If there's a motive behind what you did, like, say, for example, I'm in jail because I stole something. Mm-hmm. Or I robbed a bank. The reason I robbed a bank is because I'm in debt and I owe money, right? There's a reason, there's a why. Like, I did this for a reason. With Gemma, we don't even know why she did it. There's no reason.
Till today.
So, like, how are we going to fix the reason if there isn't one? It's just fucking weird, man. But yeah, now it's time for...
The real crime, I think, was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. We've said a few during mine.
I've said all mine.
Besides the animations, mine was just Facebook. They showed a lot of, like, Facebook statuses, like the comments, the pics. Like, what a time that was. Like, the way that people used to talk, myself included, all that stuff was just like, wow, what a time. Did you see that TikTok of that girl, And she was, like, doing her hair. Like, you know how we used to do it back in the day in, like, 2009.
Is it the one that did and then she put the bandana and then
she had the fringe. And then she had the quiff. Yeah. I was like, I have never felt so seen in my life. That literally, that whole video was me. I said the only thing that she could have done was, you know how we used to have, like, the quarter cameras on the side and then the bubble. Bro, I said, I feel so seen. This was literally me. And then she had the scarf, the like, Arab scarf thing. I had one in every colour, and I had a matching belt, and I had matching laces, and I had different colours for the days of the week. Oh God, I felt so seen.
But I just feel sad that, like, our kids are not going to have those.
They're going to have their own things.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I see 15-year-olds that yesterday when we went out for dinner, there's this girl that must have been about 15, nails, lashes. Done. Like,
but it's the way that they do it. Like, okay, so for example, like back in the day, you know, you'd have like really big lashes and then all your eyebrows would be really like thin or thick. And like now, as time goes by, you look back and you're like, okay, I don't do my lashes like that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Or I don't do my nails like that anymore.
I hope so.
Because even back in the day, girls in my school used to have their nails done and stuff.
I hope so. I don't know. I see kids these days and they just not growing. Like, have your ugly face.
I mean, I do think with the hair stuff as well, like with wigs and stuff, we weren't really doing wigs. We were doing sew-ins, and that was the height of sophistication.
Yeah. So my crime, I've said all of them.
Yeah.
I've said all of them because the whole thing was a crime. Well, I mean, yes, it was a crime, but the whole thing was just problematic as like hell. But yeah, I've said my crimes. The animation. Yeah. The braids on the tip of my tongue, but yeah, no,
we're not saying that because we've grown. We're better. We don't want to digress. I mean, not digress. What's it? We don't want to
regress.
I had the most vivid dream last night.
About what?
And I was going to send you a voice note, but I was like, I'll just tell you now when I see you on here. Okay. So basically, I was part of a reality TV show, and it was called I don't remember, marriage, yeah. Maybe because Married at First Sight has just come out, but I've not even been watching it. But maybe that was just in my subconscious. So anyway, in this show, you marry someone that you haven't met, basically, yeah, and then like you live with them for a couple of weeks, and then you kind of like just kind of see how things go. So you don't meet them at first, you meet their family. So like so
you
like,
shouldn't be saying this, because you could make this into a thing. It sounds good.
Well, I did not like my results. So I'm on this show. How I got there, Lord knows, because that's just not really my vibe. But and also I'm in a relationship. So I meet this guy's family, because they match you up, right? They're like, okay, cool, this person you're going to be with. So like I meet his family, and like everyone's really cool and they're really nice and everything. And then like before you meet the person, so you'll stand, I know why I had this dream, because I was watching The Ultimatum. So I'm standing there in this like little place, and then like the idea of the show is that the man or the person you're supposed to marry comes up to you and then like proposes, okay? And like you don't know them or anything, but they've said you guys are going to be good together, whatever. So I'm standing there, and then like the presenter's like, oh, you know, like how do you feel about meeting this person? And I'm like, oh, like if the family's anything to go by, like I'm sure he's like a really lovely guy, like I'm really excited, blah blah blah. So this guy comes now, yeah, and he's just not giving. Like he's just not giving. He looks like he's maybe like 40 something. He's short, he has a belly, and he just is not really giving. Yeah. And then like he obviously has to do the bit where the presenter's like, oh, like how do you feel? And he's just like, yeah, like it's cool. And I was thinking, I've just said this whole speech about your fucking family, and you're coming to tell me, oh yeah, it's cool.
And
so
you're not even like anything to write home about.
Right. So then anyway, he like proposes, and like I accept for some reason. I don't think I'm allowed to say no. I'm just like, yeah. And then like we have to like live together. And then in my head, I'm like, I didn't realize that we had to like live together. Like we have to share a bed. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. And so like we go into like the house, whatever, and then we're in the room, and then like I'm just like looking at him, and then he's like getting comfortable, like chilling on the bed and stuff, and I literally am just like, oh my God. It felt so real. Like I felt so disgusted. I was like, oh my God, like how is this my life? When I woke up, it literally took a couple of minutes for me to be like, oh shit, like this wasn't real. This was just a dream. Yeah, it was so realistic. Do you know what? When I woke up, I remembered the name of the show. I should have just sent you a voice note, because you know when you have these vivid dreams, as time goes by, you start to forget like, details.
It's just like I had a nightmare last night, and I can't remember.
This was a nightmare.
I woke up, and there's a mirror that kind of. So we've got our wardrobe.
An actual mirror in your house, you mean?
Yeah, there's actual mirror. So our wardrobe is obviously like mirrored, but then there's a like standalone mirror in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Faces towards the bed, but so I sat up and I could see myself, and then it looked like my face was like I was wearing like a white mask. It's probably just my skin.
But you weren't.
Of course I wasn't.
And also you probably didn't have your glasses on, so Lord knows what you saw.
No, I didn't, and I was super tired. This was at like 3 a.m. and I just said Jesus Christ, and I just went back to sleep.
The blood of Jesus.
I said the blood of Jesus. In
the mighty name.
And I woke up, I couldn't remember, and then I was like, I had a really crazy nightmare last night, and I woke up and I said Jesus Christ. I was like, oh really?
Like, so you remember the waking up, but not the actual nightmare that woke you up?
Yes, I just remember waking up, and when I looked in the mirror, it looked like my face was like distorted and white. Yeah. And obviously it's just I'm not very melanated, and like the moonlight hitting
and you can't see, bro.
And I couldn't see, so there's a lot of things. My face was not whatever, but I remember I just touched my face and said Jesus Christ, and I went back to sleep. But it's like going back to sleep for me, because it's like if something was really wrong, you just slept and that was it. Like but I couldn't tell you what that dream was about. I just remember it was really scary. And then
you remember
it woke me up.
How you felt. It's like, you know, sometimes you don't remember like what people say, but you remember how they made you feel.
Yeah, like I had palpitations, woke up, and I was even saying today, I think I need to move the angle of the mirror. I'm not sure it's really good for me.
Yeah, because why is it? No, I'm sorry.
The face is the better. It's fine on a normal day, like it's all good. But then like I was like, that was really scary. Like
yeah, maybe I don't like this.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. But I just remember saying Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
And I just slept. I had a good ass sleep after that. It was fine. I had another dream. It was all good
because the
after
name of
that.
Jesus, it brings peace.
It literally brings peace. Peace beyond anything else. But yeah, crazy.
What are we doing next, by the way? Have you thought about it?
No, we can talk about
So there's this Netflix documentary about the Boy Scouts in America.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen it? Just about like corruption, obviously. No. What else?
Okay. Yeah.
It's on Netflix. I watched the trailer. It seems alright. It's one episode.
It's gonna be long.
Yeah, but it's Netflix. I'm sure most of it won't be relevant.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. I'll put the trailer at the end. And that's it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Make some green juice. Make some green juice
Send
today.
me the recipe. Yeah.
I will. All right, bye.
Bye.
I'm here to tell you that the organization is still not safe for boys and girls. I'm not going to sit here and be quiet while I know kids are still at risk in scouting.
Soon after the Scouts were founded in 1908, the Scouts realized they had a problem. They created what they called the red flag list, or perversion files. These files were so sensitive that the Boy Scouts did everything they could to make sure that they could not be seen by parents, by police, even by other Scout leaders.
So the instinctual move was to just make sure they buried it. They see that this is potentially problematic for them and their reputation.
The Boy Scouts of America did not abuse these kids. We had some bad people that got in. Well, there's no way to profile them ahead of time and to identify people ahead of time.
Like, that's bull. One of the things that they had in their marketing messaging is the Boy Scouts has a rigorous application and screening process. And it's not true. It's never been true.
This is a human rights movement for children against one of the biggest offenders in the world.
The Boy Scouts concluded that they were going to get inundated with claims. I was amazed at how big that number got.
82,000 victims, which is just mind-blowing.
The Boy Scouts knew historically about the problem.
The length that certain people were going to try and get you to shut up got me the angriest.
What I'm hoping is that no child will ever be hurt again the way I was.
But what happened to me just took something away.
There was a lot of red flags that should have been caught.
If anybody ought to be carrying shame, it's the Boy Scouts of America.
I don't care if I bring the whole temple down. This is an abomination.